Thanks so much for tuning in to Meeke. We have got an incredible show for you today. If you've ever struggled with being good enough or pleasing enough people, maybe there's no reason that you can find in yourself that the Lord would want to draw near to you, make sure you don't go anywhere. Today, my guests are giving you the 12 keys to prepare a place for Jesus Christ. Also, Eddie V's in studio with me. He's going to help me make sense of today's headlines. No, they're very real. Don't go anywhere. Meeke starts right now. Thanks so much for watching Meeke. I am excited and a little bit nervous because we are going to explore some very real issues that I think exist in the life of many Christian women. And maybe, I don't know, Eddie V's here with me, maybe some Christian men. Ed, my guests here today have written a book called Moving Him In, 12 Keys to Creating a Place for Jesus. And in that book, they explore the perfectionist, the controlling person, the people-pleasing person, even the person who struggles to believe that Jesus could love them with everything that they've been through. That's really tough to navigate.
Yeah, and I would think actually, even though there are probably certain personality types that are much more obviously controlling, for example, or perfectionists, I would think there's probably a little bit of that in all of us. Nobody likes to feel like their life is out of control. We want control of our lives. It's hard to release that to God. But there are people who are further on one side or the other.
Yeah.
Some people are what you might consider doormats. Others want to be controlling.
Yeah.
But we probably all have to. So I'm guessing that everybody's going to get something out of this.
I know I'm getting something out. I was so convicted as I read the book. So I'm excited to sit down and talk with Susan Milligan and Shea are the names of my guests today. It's going to be, oh my goodness.
Great.
Yeah. Hey, let's do some headlines.
Okay.
How about that? No, this is real.
Okay.
Now, Ed, this is a little bit sad for me, but this is real. You know the Gerber baby. Everybody knows
not personally,
no,
but I know,
and neither
right,
do I.
Right.
You know, but everybody, when I said the Gerber baby, you saw that bluish kind of image on the jar of food, right?
For like 50 years or something.
Yes. Well, she turns 85 years old.
Yikes.
85 years old, and she's passing on her spoon, so to speak.
Passing on her spoon.
There is a new, and actually the original Gerber baby, her name is Ann Turner Cook. Okay, and she was around recently to kind of pass the torch on to the newest Gerber baby.
So she's still alive?
Yeah, she is still alive.
Wow. She
is still alive. And actually, we have an image. You'll see an image. They were on the Today Show with the new baby, whose name is Mary Jane Montoya. And what they share, what they have in common, are those cheeks. I think we have a picture of it, if we can just show. Do you see those cheeks?
Sure.
I mean, you just can't deny that. When you see her, look at that. She never,
those
85 years old.
Those are Gerber baby. Now, which one's the 85-year-old?
Well,
no, just kidding.
She would love that. She would love that. Isn't that great? Anyway, new Gerber baby earns $50,000 that her parents, Sarah and Billy, say they plan to invest in her college education.
Sure, sure they're investing that. That's what every parent says.
You think they're going to blow it on pureed
It's
bananas?
new cars and a trip to Disney World.
That's it. That's what she's getting. What does she have to show for it? 85 years old. That's a long time to be in the public eye.
Well, I would guess that nobody knew. I mean, did she go around, speaking before people and saying I was the original Gerber baby?
That's a good question. You don't think the cheeks ever gave it away? You think you'd be standing in line with her and go, "Hey, I know you from somewhere."
those cheeks.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where, I mean, immediately when I said Gerber baby, you knew exactly
everybody knows.
It's like that iconic image of the Gerber baby. So there's not going to be an immediate transition. They're going to kind of share the spotlight for a little bit, I guess, as you soften the blow. Yeah. There's some attachment that we have to the original
I don't know that
baby.
anyone's going to lose sleep over it.
Oh,
although I hope they don't change the formula. Some of that baby food is still pretty good.
Okay.
I like it.
We're going to move on.
The applesauce rocks.
Was that your favorite? Bananas.
I don't know.
I liked bananas.
I don't remember.
To this day, I could go for a good jar of pureed bananas.
Everything was mixed with spaghetti sauce when I was growing up, so.
Oh,
that's kind of gross.
It is kind of gross, but it explains a lot.
And it does. It really does.
Okay, let's stay in this vein of baby stories.
Okay.
Ed, this is bizarre. And I want you to, seriously, no, this is real. Help me make sense of it. So you,
I'll give you my serious face.
Here you go. You've got kids. Every parent knows what it was like to potty train.
Right.
It's not easy. And I'm told that when you have a little boy, you kind of, you know, come up with adventurous ways, you know, creative ways to teach him to go, because you just want to get him out of diapers.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's a story out of Oklahoma. 3-year-old little boy. He's got to go. He's got to go. His mom's unloading groceries. He's out at the car, whatever, and he happens to just decide he's going to go in his front yard.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Not strange,
No.
right? You can, I mean, everybody's going, okay, what, I mean, that's little boys,
it's a kid.
right? Well, right at that moment, a police officer is driving by.
Oh, please, no.
Right? Can you see, this is real, Ed. And so he pulls over, asks the mom for her driver's license, and he writes her a $2,500 ticket, a citation saying that her son urinated publicly. And so,
and how old's this boy?
3 years old. But here's the deal, Ed. They were on their property. It was their house, but he said because they were out front, $2,500.
And his name was Barney Fife, right? That's, you know what? That guy, he either ought to be fired or sent to some sort of classes, because that's pathetic.
I don't
With
get
everything
that.
that's going on today.
Right. Do you think there's some sort of like Christmas quota they're trying to? You think you know how they
$2,500.
$2,500.
You know what? I would take that to,
$2,500.
obviously it's in the media because you got a hold of it somehow. I would go to the next city council meeting and ask the mayor and the city council members if they agree with that.
Yeah.
And then have them all turned out in a recall election.
Yeah.
Because that, I would guess, any sane community would say we don't have time for this kind of foolishness.
It's such a waste of time.
That's foolishness.
I mean, that he got out of his car, exerted the energy to ask the mom for her driver's license, and they said they're going to fight it. You know, grandmom is upset, you know, and she said, can I want to say, can I quote what the grandma said? She says, I don't know if I can say it. We all say, maybe
You're
I won't
asking
say
me.
it.
I don't want to be in trouble.
I know, you're like,
Let me
I'm
see
not
what
giving you.
she said.
This is the word she uses.
Oh,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay, can I
think-
say that?
I
Because we
think that's
say it.
okay.
Everybody
Yeah.
knows it. 3-year-old. So this is a quote from the grandmom.
Yeah.
Grandmom's upset. She says, for $2,500, we should be able to pee all over our whole yard.
Get your money's
We
worth.
should be able to go all over the yard. So anyway, I agree. I agree with Grandma.
That
I
is
think
ridiculous.
That's just,
no, that
anyway,
can't be real.
That is real. I saw that story and I go, Ed and I've got to talk about this. Speaking of intelligence, this police officer giving out this ticket. Nice transition. You like that? Okay, here we go. Segue. New story out in the Journal of Trends in Genetics. New story. Research is showing.
I get that. I read
now,
that.
This is
Read
tongue
it
in cheek.
cover to cover.
Do you really?
Trends in genetics.
Here's the headline.
Awesome.
Here's the headline.
Okay.
Humans may be gradually losing intelligence, according to a new study. Well, consider our previous story.
I think
you can see
there may be something to that.
This may be the case in point here, but here's the story, okay? Because of the evolutionary pressure to survive being reduced nowadays, we are not as intelligent as we once were required to be. Evolutionary need to survive has been reduced. We don't have to go out and hunt and kill and gather and build. Our life doesn't depend on it.
Because we don't have to kill mammoths anymore, are they serious?
Yeah.
Then we are losing. How much intelligence does it take to kill a mammoth?
Well,
I mean, I can tell, you know, maybe not to get stomped by one, but I would have a hard time believing that. Now, I would say because people spend so much time with entertainment and, you know, videos and video games, that you might lose certain skills and abilities, the ability to communicate as well, the ability to have as much empathy. I've heard that the younger generation has less empathy than our generation. Well, you're not in my generation. I'm older than you, but I can see where certain things there's a trade-off with certain things, but I don't see us becoming less intelligent.
Well, let's talk about this whole thing, because the thing that grabs me about this is that we're always kind of revisiting this whole topic of evolution, Ed, and it's always this kind of slick way to fit in the notion that we do not have a creator. We do not have someone who designed us, but it's kind of this thing of like, you know, as barbarians, we had to not only, kill the animal, but, make food from it and then a place to live from it, kind of a thing. And so, but it doesn't, I just feel like it's always a clever way to mask we don't have an intelligent designer.
Oh, I think you're exactly right. I mean, they look at the world from a certain perspective, and then all the facts have to be crammed into that perspective, whether it's a square peg in a round hole or not. But I studied history and political science in college, and it seems to me that I remember that once civilizations or cultures don't have to just simply use subsistence farming or just survival mode, that's when they're able to have more time to learn art and to learn mathematics.
Yeah.
And I think that is a draw upward rather than just simply being in survival mode. I don't see how that would help intelligence.
Well, when you look at, I'm thinking about technology. I'm thinking about what we've been able to accomplish,
Yeah, I don't buy that.
Looking at people in a big old box that are, it's TV. It seems to me that God has allowed us to discover more and to kind of increase in our ability. I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
the ability for us to communicate across the world and across the globe. One of the things I like to do on stories like this is look at the comments. I learn a lot just from people commenting from the other side of the globe on something, and I learn a little something maybe that I didn't see in the story, and that, to me, would only enhance our intelligence, I would think. Now, there are plenty of stupid people. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I just don't know whether those individuals are getting dumber or not in comparison to...
Again, I would just like to take you back to our previous story about the citation for the kid in the front yard. So anyway, I'm not saying that he's...
We're not saying that this police officer is stupid either. It is poor judgment.
Poor judgment. That's very good.
Yes.
Thank you for that, Ed. When we come back, brace yourself, grab a cup of coffee and start sipping on that right now, because we're going to discuss the 12 keys for preparing a place for Jesus. And let me tell you, there is nothing that is not on the table that won't be placed on the table for discussion when we come back. It's going to be a riveting show. Make sure you stick around. And then I got smacked in the face several times as I was reading. I recommend this to every woman watching this show. I mean, without a doubt.
God miraculously healed me.
Amen.
He supernaturally took that from me, the desire to have alcohol. I mean, that is a hope and something I want to share with others. That is a possibility. God does do it that way sometimes.